I don't like dunking on Mercenaries, right? Like I said my piece, I stopped playing it. It clearly wasn't for me. I don't like harping on that fact too much, but this video came out this week and I was like, I watched it and I was like, oh man, this is just a great reminder of all the frustrations I had with Mercenaries. And it's still frustrating people who are super dedicated and trying their best to make the game work. So this felt like a worthwhile kind of reason to jump back in and harp on the Mercenaries problem a little bit again. Okay, this is a video from a fella named ZombiesGoNomNom. So let me drop a link to this in chat so you guys can go drop a sub and support this. I think they are someone who has been very focused on Mercenaries if you look at their channel. You can see a lot of Mercenary stuff, which, you know, I respect. Like, clearly I did not connect with Mercenaries. I pulled out pretty quickly within like a week or whatever. But I love that people tried to go with it, right? And support it and create content for it. Like, I think that's awesome. Wasn't for me, but there's clearly some people out there who like it, and they're actually doing well, right? Like, this is 2,000, 3,000 views in a lot of videos. That's pretty awesome for a starting YouTube channel. So carving out a little niche like that is really cool. But that said, as you can probably tell from the title and or theme of this particular video, I think they are also running into some of the like grind and monetization walls in Mercenaries, as we'll let them tell us.
Goody. All right, what's going on, everybody? Zombies here again, and today we have a different kind of video. So this was not what I was planning to do today, actually. I was actually planning on doing kind of the opposite of this video. I wanted to put out a video that kind of gave some advice on, you know, what the best things in Mercenaries are.
By the way, I've totally been there. Where like something comes up and you have a video planned or whatever, and it's like, oh god, what did Blizzard do this time, or news or whatever? They completely changed your plan. And like, you know, these things have repercussions for Blizzard too, where it's like, instead of this great content creator making a video explaining for people how to play Mercenaries to get more value out of it, instead they're forced to spotlight the negative aspects of the game. They're forced to say bad things because they get so frustrated, and that has that sort of feedback loop. That recursive negativity starts. So then you got a bunch of people talking negatively about a thing instead of positively about a thing, and that just feeds into itself. So I think it's really important, I think, to avoid these like negative talking points as much as you can, because each one kind of builds into the next and starts to establish this like critical mass of negativity. So any publicity is good publicity. I don't know if that's true for Mercenaries.
After my experience yesterday opening the new packs, I decided that I can't really, in good conscience, recommend people to put any money into this game right now as it stands. And I would actively tell you to not put any money into this game.
That is sad too, by the way. The one person, or one of a few who's super dedicated to making Mercenaries content is telling you to avoid Mercenaries content.
As I don't believe the fixes we want for it are really ever going to come if we just keep throwing money at them.
See, it's actually been, if you think about it, Mercenaries came out in October, right? So October, November, December, January, February. We're 5 months into Mercenaries, and they have been adding new content. They've been adding new content, but not, like, as far as I've noticed, shifting the kind of model of how anything works. Like, all the systems seem to function basically the same. Avoid buying anything in Mercenaries. Free to play is just the best way of doing mercs. Well, yes, if you have unlimited time, right? It depends on how you value time versus money. The most frustrating part of Mercenaries for me was that I actually couldn't convert my money into time very well. Everything was so prohibitively expensive to accelerate it all that I had to spend an inordinate amount of time, and the time being spent was not very enjoyable for me. So I wanted to skip the time gating and requirements via money, but there actually wasn't a very good path to do that, particularly if you focus on like PvP. What do you mean unlimited time? It takes only 2 to 3 months I'm gonna guess you don't see the irony there, but most of us do, is that we don't have 2 to 3 months to get into like a PvP game mode, right? If your only thing you care about is PvE or maximizing characters or whatever, like sure, taking 2 or 3 months has no downside. But for most of us, we want to play PvP faster, right? Like we want to get into the gameplay experiences we enjoy quickly, not have to work for them for months and months before they're enjoyable.
Not fixing the problems with packs is actively making them money. And big corporations have a tendency to not change things up when they're making a lot of money.
I wonder how true that is. I don't know anything about Mercenaries, so they know more than I do. I like I said though, I felt like I wasn't encouraged to spend money, but maybe there is a higher tier of whale, like a super whale. I don't know, whales are already the biggest sea creature, right? So a Loch Ness monster or something that is just buying everything regardless of the cost. Like, you know, I said, oh, $15 for one ability is too much, but maybe there are people spending $50, $60, $100 to max out characters. So every time a batch of 5 characters comes out, maybe they're just spending $500, and Blizzard has enough of those guys going around, right? Like all these other problems go away for them. Yeah, so to recap this a little bit, I don't want to watch this whole video because, you know, I'll let you guys go watch it, but he basically says he opened 30 packs and got like none of the new characters. I think he got the rare characters, but not like the legendary characters or whatever. So even though he saved up 30 packs, they basically did kind of nothing, right? They didn't help him advance at all towards the new characters or stuff that he wanted, which is clearly like if you've saved up 30 packs, you expect to get some meat, right? You expect to get some investment return there, because it's like, how miserable is your pack opening experience? Packs are punishing in Mercenaries because as more characters are released, more and more dead coins go into the pool. So as you play and maximize characters, like if you've maximized Blink Fox and Tamsin and Alexstrasza, these coins are currently dead. There's no system to refund these coins or to convert them into anything else. They've teased that there's gonna be, but we're 5 months in and it's still not here. So I don't know when that's coming, but actually the more progress you make, the worse packs get, which to me is kind of mind-boggling. Like, I guess that's kind of true in normal Hearthstone too, where it's like I'm opening cards I've already opened, but you have the dust system so that you can at least extract a little bit of that value back. Whereas in Mercenaries currently you can't. Those coins just sit there dead. Players have literally hundreds of thousands of coins. No, is it really that high? It's hundreds of thousands. I didn't realize that. Oh my God. And here's actually the reason. I think we've watched enough of this to get the sentiment here. I don't want to just spend the whole time watching the whole 12 minutes. So here's what really frustrates me about all of this, though. I think is that I feel like so many of these problems were so salient to most of us within like 2 days. You know, like we got in, we played the mode. You know, for some people, the gameplay was underwhelming. I actually thought it was pretty fun. PvP was actually pretty fun to me. PvE was, I wouldn't say it was like super fun, but it was fine. The gameplay loops were fine, but all the systems, all the stuff attached to it, like we were all so aware of all these problems immediately. And so many people gave up immediately. You know, I tried my best for like a week or two or whatever it was. I don't remember. And we still have people who are trying so hard and still having problems with these systems, like this fella. What that tells us is that, like, obviously Blizzard knew. You know, like, it's so clear and so obvious to everybody. They had to understand the same problems going in, right? I mean, if they didn't, that's its own problem, because how could you not see the problems? But if they did, they just chose to push it through anyway. And I don't know if that was a, you know, deliberate anti-player choice, but it's just an experience that's so bad for so many people that makes me so frustrated. A problem born out of lack of awareness or a problem born out of like maliciousness. And I don't know that either is better. Like both make me really worried about decision making, right? Like they both concern me. So, you know, I of course like to think it's like this sort of corporate overlord level, you know, making decisions and influencing game design for monetization purposes or engagement loop purposes. You know, I wouldn't want to pin this to any like, you know, design level person, because I'm sure they're sort of overruled on a lot of this stuff or, you know, influenced in certain ways. But it's just so frustrating because I feel like there were so many points and moments where we got that sort of this is on the back burner until Mercenaries is out, or like we're finishing up Mercenaries, we've got our people on Mercenaries, you know, all these sorts of things. Felt like Mercenaries was sort of interrupting them or delaying them. I think even literally like the mini set or something got delayed for Mercenaries specifically, from like a patch loadout standpoint. So both behind the scenes and even like release stuff, all of it seemed to get a little interrupted for Mercenaries. And I know they've come back and said like, you know, independent teams worked on this, it didn't like steal away from stuff, but like UI and all this other things, like what other feature sets because those have been working on instead of Mercenaries. And so much about Mercenaries looks great and polished and cool. Other parts like the board I always thought was a little underwhelming, but it just frustrates me that it's still not getting anywhere, you know, like it still hasn't made any progress. That's my Mercenaries thought. Oh, I will say there was one really frustrating thing I had in Mercenaries. I was looking at it the other day because I wanted to go look at the new characters and see their abilities. God knows that won't work. Can you guys walk me through this? Maybe I'm insane. Maybe I'm just not clicking the right buttons, but I want to show you this because I thought I was losing my mind, and maybe I am. That's a real possibility always. But I thought I was losing my mind. Look at this. Mercenaries. And it's got a main menu spot. Give that spot to duels, baby. Let's go. So I went into the collection manager because I wanted to check out the new, well here, like crafting, right? I wanted to check out the new characters. Like I thought these looked so cool, right? So I wanted to go in and look at their abilities and their art, like their portraits and stuff. But I don't know how. Is there a way to click in? Chat is saying you can't do it. This to me is beyond mind-boggling. That this wasn't like the first thing to change. I was in like, I thought, well, man, I want to look at these. I want to see them. Maybe I want to craft one, right? Maybe I want to play around with these new characters. Well, guess what? You can't even see them. Screw you. Can't even see the art. Can't even see the abilities. You got to go look at a website somewhere, right? If you want to find out what Yulon does, is there anywhere it shows me? Let's look at Mercenaries. Maybe it does show me here, actually. Oh, this is actually not bad. Never mind. This is a decent solution. Let's see. What was that, Yulon? Oh yeah, this actually isn't too bad. I know this is gonna seem like an act, like I planned this. I swear to God, I didn't know. It doesn't show you the abilities here. I swear to God, I didn't know. I swear to God. I swear to God, I didn't know. I guess you have to go find the patch notes. You have to know what patch they were released in and find the patch notes. And then you have to read them and look at a tiny GIF of their art. Like, this just cannot be the loop, right? It's just not it just can't be the loop. It has to be better than this. I have no interest in shaming anybody. Like, you know, it's not going to be good enough for the players. Like, people aren't going to want to craft things. They can't even see the characters first. They're not going to hear about things. They're not going to be excited about things. So I had this organic experience myself, and I was like, I've got to be clicking something wrong. Like, double click, right click. Like, how do I see it? Why can't I just buy this with gold or something to start, and then I upgrade it with coins? So that I can at least, like, play the character and experience it, right? Instead, I have to go, like, farm these I don't even... It's been so long I've done Merc. I don't even know how to farm the coins. Is it just out of packs, or do I have to find the right bounty? But then, like, why doesn't it tell me what bounties to buy it at? Like, if I click Nizhao, why doesn't it say, collect these coins in Heroic Wintervale or whatever? You know what I mean? Like, I don't... It's expecting too much work from the player to get into these. There's just so many. Like, look how sick these look, by the way. Like, this looks so cool to me. Like, I just really want to play these characters and experience this, but it's just so many hurdles and headaches. Like, I had an organic moment where I was like, I want to kind of go look at this stuff and see what it's like, and maybe I'll give it a shot, you know? And it's like, no, I got shut down immediately. So even people who are trying to get into it and want to be a part of it are just getting shut down. Yeah, maybe in a year. I don't know. Yeah, again, I think there's so many cool things to build on. I'm really hopeful. It's just I've had some really frustrating thoughts about it lately. That's a good moment, right? Loaded up the website. Oh, dude, I got debated so hard. Yeah, I mean, let's not give up hope, right? Like, I don't want to be a negative Nancy, but I have been really frustrated by it. And that video made me so frustrated because that guy was clearly, I don't know if it came across when we were watching, but ZombiesGoNomNom was so clearly like, I don't want to say like emotional about it, but you could feel the like weight in his voice. Like he was so frustrated and like so put out by it. You felt sad listening to him? Yeah, that's what I meant too. Like I felt so frustrated. I just wanted to chime in, I guess, or offer some kind of support or exposure or something. Because I felt exactly the same way. So yeah, let me drop that link one more time so you guys go drop a sub on them or something, because clearly a dedicated and pretty awesome content creator. So anyway, that's a good chat. Let's call it there on the stream. Can I help you, Mrs. Gilman? What? Did I give you a heart attack? Well, listen, the internet went out in the most epic moment of this game. Yeah, the most amazing epic moment. The internet dropped out for like 30 seconds. I was trying to get back in. The thing wouldn't go. I had to log out of Blizzard thing. When I log back, I have an authenticator so nobody can steal my login. You had the phone. The one night you have the phone. So I ran into the bedroom to get the phone and you're downstairs. I'm like, are you serious? I mean, I'm yelling at her chat. I go, approve, approve, hit approve. And she's like, what are you talking about?